KREM 2 News at Noon begins now.
Right now on KREM 2 News at Noon, Washington candidates face off at a debate in Spokane. Recap what they had to say.
And it's a bit cloudier today as our temperatures are going to ease off for the rest of this week, but not to worry, more 70-degree days are still well within our forecast.
I don't have anywhere to go and I'm afraid to get stranded somewhere on the interstate.
Tracking Hurricane Milton and all that entails. We bring you the very latest as people evacuate, and they are preparing for that powerful storm, specifically talking about Florida this afternoon. Hi, everyone. It is so good to see you. Welcome to KREM 2 News at Noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and we're going to take a look right now. Doppler radar. This is looking at the hurricane as it is continuing to circle out there as it heads towards Florida. Making landfall sometime this evening. And so we are continuing to track that as people by the thousands are evacuating and looking for help, whether that is, of course, looking for a shelter or going to family. It's a desperate situation in certain areas because, Thomas, as you can talk about, so many people are recovering right now from Helene, now dealing with Milton. Let's get right to it and have you break down what it's like ahead of the Milton making landfall.
Yeah, I can't sugarcoat this at all. This is like one of the worst possible situations, especially for Florida's Gulf Coast. Between the back-to-back major hurricanes less than 2 weeks apart, and this one is going directly towards Florida as we speak, likely to make landfall in just a few hours by tonight. Still a Category 4 storm. In fact, it is just about 75, 80 miles away from the coast, pretty much aimed right at Sarasota, Florida. But what is making this hurricane unique is its tornado presence. You see all these red boxes right here, and there's another band that's adjacent to it, even on the Atlantic side. Those are all tornado warnings via these outer bands of Milton as it approaches Florida. So even right now, as people are trying to evacuate, they might also have to shelter in place due to tornadoes well before landfall. It is right now, there's no time left over for evacuations. Hopefully everybody has gotten out and into safer areas because this looks absolutely terrible. And the worst, unfortunately, is still yet to come. It's likely going to be making landfall as a Category 3 storm around Sarasota, with the side on the right-hand side going to get the worst of this, the dirty side of the hurricane, as it's sometimes called. The highest storm surge is going to be back towards Fort Myers. The storm surge could be as much as 10 to 15 feet in that region. And remember, it's not just Helene. These are areas that could still be recovering from Hurricane Ian from a couple years ago. It is likely going to stay at hurricane strength as it crosses Florida's peninsula, still as a Category 1 storm as it makes its way back into the Atlantic. So again, this is almost a worst case scenario, especially for areas from Sarasota southward. It's just Tampa Bay. The Bay Area itself might be spared the worst from the storm surge, but obviously the extreme rain and the wind is still going to be felt across the state.
Thomas, thank you. Meanwhile, taking a look here back at home, changes are coming to how the city of Spokane is going to be providing warming centers coming up this winter. So they're taking a look at contracts in place with existing providers like Family Promise, Salvation Army, and Catholic Charities to increase surge capacity during that extreme cold weather that often hits. The city says they will save money by not having to staff new warming shelters.
By utilizing existing services and providers, we could activate November 1 if it was cold. It also allows us to not have to hire an entire new set of staff, right? But if an existing shelter can take on 15 more people, they don't necessarily need to hire new staff to accommodate that.
So a request for proposals went out on Monday, and final decisions on sites are expected by the end of this month. We'll keep you updated on that. In the meantime, the debate began with the race for Washington's open Senate seat. Senator Maria Cantwell is trying to keep her seat, and Dr. Raul Garcia is trying to take it. Topics included the war in Ukraine, abortion, and the removal of Snake River dams. The homelessness crisis also came up.
The first step is drug rehabilitation. The second step is mental health. And the third step is housing. Not housing first.
We need to build more supply. Spokane knows this, and that's why places like Gonzaga Haven and other affordable housing projects are done.
The candidates running to fill the 5th congressional district seat also faced off. Candidates Michael Baumgardner and Carmela Conroy answered questions ranging from inflation, student loans, and abortion.
I definitely believe that the Congress of the United States should restore, with national legislation, the right of women to make choices about their own bodies.
When I read the Constitution, it clearly says that things that are not prescribed in the Constitution belong to the states. I frankly just don't think that abortion was thought of by the founders. I don't think it's in the Constitution. I think it's a state issue.
And we will hear from the 5th Congressional District candidates again coming up later this month. KREM 2 is hosting a 5th District congressional debate. Again, candidates Carmela Conroy and Michael Baumgardner will be here in the KREM 2 studio coming up on Wednesday, October 30th. The hour-long debate begins at 7 o'clock that evening on KREM 2, KSKN 22, KREM 2 Plus, and also KREM.com. And next week, Up with KREM's Channing Curtis will be moderating the Spokane NAACP Candidate Forum and Town Hall. Al French and Molly Marshall, the candidates fighting for the Spokane County Commissioner seat, will be answering questions. Then 5th District Congressional candidate Carmela Conroy and Washington State Legislative 3rd District candidate Natasha Hill will participate in a town hall discussion. Their challengers either had a scheduling conflict or declined the invitation. The event at the Spokane Central Library begins at 6 p.m.
They just want to have community here and just like love on our district.
Coming up in the next 2 minutes, a look at the fun fall event this weekend at the Sprague Union District.